Oh, exciting. Exotics on high ping and lagging. That's what we like.
Oh, we had to join in the first 20 seconds. Hopefully the players are okay with that. Again, I don't know
Yeah.
how it's possible that they were able to start the lobby after the previous match was still in game 1 3 minutes ago. But
I mean,
I
they'll
digress.
probably be pretty annoyed because when you join as a spectator, it lags out the lobby for like a tenth of a second. But you know, no one got a skull, so you know, fine.
But we're in. It is showing up on screen here. Complexity going up against DigniTosTesTas.
I like the name. It reminds me of another team.
European team, right? Another European team.
Yeah, really good one. It's got Turbo Pel High Poster or something on
Yes, exactly. All right, we're gonna make sure we join the next one before it starts. That was yeah.
You know what, Nina? I have the feeling that Complexity are gonna win as well. I really do. It's still that early stage of the competition where you have teams like Complexity that are just, no matter how good you are so far ahead of the competition that they just take it out.
Yeah, and kind of to elaborate on that, you know, this is an open qualifier. Any team can join. Yummy Cheese Man could have joined.
I couldn't because I'm from Australia.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
And rules.
Well, can you still play from a different region? Like, if you can just accept the lag, or do you have to like be there?
I would assume not. Usually,
yeah,
rules
assume you have to be there. Yeah, right. So anyway, any European
because
team,
they're racist.
if you're watching, if you're watching the stream right now and you're living in Europe, you could have played in this. Okay, what I'm trying to make is, you know, we're in the early stages. Complexity should win pretty much all of these. Complexity, like in the first 2 hours of an open bracket, don't expect the RLCS caliber like everyone's RLCS style. Now, this is Europe, and there's an incredible amount of depth, so we're going to see some good games. But very much the first hour or so of this is really good teams kind of warming up against teams that are not as good. I mean, that's just how it is.
You're lucky. There's so few teams in OCE that an hour is an entire tournament. So you guys get all the action.
So Complexity. We're watching Complexity. I kind of want to watch them for fun. I think it's a fun team, even though they're playing teams that aren't spectacular. We can still learn from them. We can still criticize them, and we can see what's going on with this team. Even again, it's not RLCS versus RLCS, but there's still things you can kind of learn and enjoy, even if it's a little one-sided. Like if Cheeseman played against me in Rocket League. Actually, that's a bad example.
No, it's a great example. Oh, imagine the shellacking that you'd get.
Oh, yeah. Unless I just play with my keyboard. Then I think I do pretty well.
Keyboard's pretty OP.
So, someone's asking in the chat, are RLCS teams playing in this? All 8 RLCS teams, I believe, have already been invited to the closed qualifier. And this
Which is happening when?
That's happening April 27th. April 27th. I don't know why I finished that with a high syllable. I was about to say and 28th, but I believe North America is closed as qualifiers on the 28th. So all their RLCS teams, they're playing a little later in the month against the top 4. And D-Pants is the expert administrator extraordinaire in the chat. He might be in the chat. He can verify or confirm all of this. 4 teams are trying to make it to play against those guys.
It should be good.
And then from there, the top 2 go to Dallas. All expenses paid. Now Dallas, I believe, is still open, so people can go sign up, whatever, and show up. So again, these guys are playing for trips. And I don't mean trips like Trip Kings and poker.
I think the real question is, are you going to be in Dallas, Axeltoss?
That's a really good question. I'll have you know, Dallas is my hometown.
Ah.
Did you know that?
And so they're going to giving you on as host because then they don't have to pay for flights and accommodation.
Well, the thing is, I'm in Burbank. I'm in Los Angeles right now, so I would have to travel there. But I grew up in Dallas. All my family is in Dallas, so I might have to go check it out. While we have Magnus scoring with no time left.
16 teams from today. 4 per group. So that's a lot of teams. There's going to be, what, 24 teams in the closed qualifier?
Thank you, defense. Perfect information.
You know what? I'd like to D-pants.
So 16 total teams will move on to the closed qualifier. And that's where the RLCS teams are waiting to face off against them. So this is it's really cool. This is my favorite stuff in esports, Yummy Cheese Man. This is it. Where you have open qualifiers. Anyone can join. Anyone can practice and grind and get ready. And then it's a long process. And Dreamhack, they're the best at this. They've been around for so long. And they have more or less perfected the esports tournament process with their circuits.
I think what's most important is that here, with 16 teams going through, we're going to see or get a real another chance of seeing who are sitting just outside of the RLRS. And even by the end of, I guess, the closed qualifiers, we might see whether there's some RLRS teams like Complexity here who are challenging really well into the RLCS teams, whether there's teams that didn't make it into RLRS who maybe could have been there. And I think the WSOE qualifiers certainly showed that some real upsets can happen in both regions.
Yeah, that's a good point, and it's cool that these players and teams have these opportunities. The more the merrier as far as these kind of tournaments are concerned for me. As we see the first goal coming from DigniTosTesTas. That's Artyrus. Season 9.
They're on the board. That's an achievement in itself to get this goal. And considering Complexity is still taking some time to warm up, they definitely have the chance to keep that going and maybe take this game.
Yeah, and to kind of speak on what I was saying a little bit more, because it's such a long event, teams have to have endurance. They have to be constantly practicing, and because this tournament starts now. Dreamhack Dallas starts today. Yummy Cheese Man.
Today.
Dreamhack Dallas starts today. For all these guys.
Well, it also starts later on.
No, it starts today, Yummy Cheese Man, and I'm standing by that. I will write a thesis and submit it to Harvard for masters, and I'll get it, because this is day one of Dreamhack Dallas. For these teams, that's what's in their mind, and that's what's going on. They're trying to qualify for this major tournament in the United States, and they're trying to get an all-expenses-paid trip. But they have to go through this massive open bracket first.
Well, it's a good statement you make to say major tournament. This is really important, and especially for those teams outside of RLCS, that chance is potentially over, but this is truly their chance to show themselves on the world stage.
There's plenty of prize money to be had, but it's all about that prestige, getting a championship. Again, major event. And Dreamhack. You gotta win Dreamhack. So much history with Cloud9. I think they were the Muffin Men when they won, but so many history and so many storylines of teams making it through Dreamhack and then emerging onto the world stage in a big way. So, very exciting stuff here.
Or the opposite, kind of thinking of maybe PSG right there.
Right. Oh my God, that was. You know what? That's like one of my favorite tournaments ever. That tournament that I've ever seen or been a part of in Rocket League.
And it was a fantastic grand final too.
Yeah, dude. G2 against PSG, North America versus Europe. So many storylines going on, and then the final match went all the way to 7 games, and then it went to overtime to decide who's gonna win the tournament. I don't mean to spoil it, but go back and watch DreamHack Leipzig from last year.
And it was casted by Shogun and Gregan, if I recall.
Yep. Wavepunk was there, but I think he got sick after the first day. So we were very low staffed. but we made it.
Oh, you were the host.
Yeah, I was host. Gibbs was there, Achieves was there, Gregan, and Shogun. And it was, I think it was us 5 for a DreamHack. They're like 10-hour days sometimes. Like, DreamHacks are crazy. It's awesome because it's video games all the time. It's a 24-hour BYOC LAN, which everyone should try to go to at one point in their life. But, you know, those are long days too. But anyway, DreamHack, all about endurance. It starts today. Endurance online, playing a lot of matches in open bracket, and especially endurance once you get to Dallas, once you get to these stages where it's video games, it's Rocket League all the time. So I love it. And right now, Complexity down 0-1 in the game. They're up 1-0 in the series of this best of 3. So they got to figure something out here with a minute left.
The funny thing is, you know, when that first goal went in against them, they started scrambling, thinking, oh, we could actually lose this game. And they've tried really hard to get onto the attack to get some solid opportunities. But DigniTosTesTas is actually doing a fantastic job of not only defending, but getting the ball away from their half, reducing the pressure at the same time.
Yeah, and we're seeing more of that backup play, or the backboard play, as I keep getting it. DigniTosTesTas scores again, and that's Artirus, and that's his second goal of the game. So this is looking. We got a Rocket League game going on here, Yummy Cheese Man. We got a good game going on. Imagine
if DigniTosTesTas could take down Complexity and knock them into what I assume would be the lower bracket. That would be
insane.
One of the biggest upsets we've ever seen.
That would be such an upset test. I don't know.
Upset. So,
there's something there. Thank you for appreciating what I was going for, but I failed in my execution. And look at this. This is going to be a victory here from DigniTosTesTas. And they're going to tie the series 1-1 in this best of 3. We're going to a game 3. This is double elimination, though. So
yep.
This is the upper bracket. So whoever loses here, not necessarily out of the tournament, but they are going to have to go through a crazy lower bracket.
2 through the upper bracket, 2 through the lower bracket, and obviously with best of 3, you don't want to go down to the lower bracket because, as you can see, an upset can happen. Especially in best of 3, you can just have crazy series. So Complexity, you got to really dig in deep. I think they haven't really taken the tournament seriously enough so far. So that can really get you into this mindset where you're like, oh, we're just having fun, whatever, let's just chill, let's just relax. And it can be hard to get out of that mindset, to bring yourself back to playing seriously, playing at your best, playing fast, rotating well. That's why all these teams do warm-ups before their match.
Yep.
So you can kind of say that Complexity have come into this series without a warm-up, and hopefully they put on more of a show.
You know, I honestly think that they're gonna win this no problem, and I feel like that they're thinking that too.
Oh, they're obviously thinking that, but there's got to be, you know, some shakes there. They've just been shaken up because they lost game 2. You know, they would have thought when they lost that first goal, hey, we're going to take it more seriously, and they still lost game 2. So they know that they can lose this game.
All right. Let's see what happens here. It all comes down to this, to stay alive in the open bracket. The upper bracket, I should say. The upper bracket of the open bracket. And look at this! Artirus! He's scoring all the goals, man. He gets another one.
It's his third goal, and he's always in the right place at the right time. Exotic was putting a ton of pressure on Flakes, and that's what caused him to just try and get the ball out of there, where Artirus was... Yeah, Artirus was there.
Yeah, and you mentioned Exotic. Great pressure and passing play, getting past Flakes to make that happen. Meanwhile, more pressure from the blue team. DigniTosTesTas. I almost thought that was another opportunity to score, but Complexity able to get it out of there. And once again, Complexity, this team, these players of this caliber, they have no business making this close.
Yeah, you can kind of see as well what I was saying in that when they got into that defensive situation there, Flakes and I think it was Greasy ended up bumping each other. That's a great shot, but an even better save by Exotic. The follow-up is there. It's firing on the net, and Magnus. He's going to tie up the game.
Yeah, complexity. Now they're in the comms. They're like, all right, guys, stop messing around. Let's make some stuff happen. What a great play there from Flakes, providing that pressure and putting the ball just in such a perfect spot. And there was nothing that was going to be done there, if not a goal.
That was just led up to by just 3 banger shots. You know, the fact that mechanically they're able to get much better strikes on. It was very hard to defend every single one, and eventually one of them was going to go in.
And DigniTosTesTas, you gotta wonder if they're feeling a little nervous. You know, when they go up 1-0 in Game 3, and they might be thinking, "Oh my gosh, we're beating complexity." Hopefully, they can maintain their composure here because they've made this a series as Flakes and complexity, just applying so much pressure, really using that backboard to keep that ball in a very threatening position. And I think everyone was involved in that play as complexity takes a 2-1 advantage with 3 minutes and 32 seconds to go here in game number 3.
Complexity just really throws them on the back foot as well, and you can kind of see what they can achieve when they're trying their best, especially in terms of pressure, putting shots on net, and even now it doesn't really feel like they need to scramble on defense.
Oh, and there you go. Once again, just a non-stop pressure here from complexity. Greasy Meister going up the side. A nice little just chip, like jumped off the wall, met the ball, passed to himself, and popped it up to the middle, keeping his opponents on their heels and putting that ball in a great spot.
Unfortunately, DigniTosTesTas hasn't been really ready to back up their teammate, whether their teammate's going to hit it or miss it. They're kind of playing halfway between, and that's what's catching them here in the defense.
Yeah, complexity looking to run away with it. They're just being fancy now. Flakes, it might be all Flakes actually. He has 3 goals. That's a hat trick.
That was a brilliant individual play as well. I think he faked out the wave dash in the end, but it still had the same effect of getting underneath it, changing the pace of the play, because they're expecting him to put an immediate shot on, but he ends up being able to slow it down and then just pops it over the top.
Now 4-1 advantage from complexity. Some people in the chat, no, I'm going to say the person's name. Nina, I believe, saying they finally woke up.
I think that's true for sure. It's been a very different game 3 for complexity compared to
there's something about tournament play where when you're on the edge, when you're on the verge of, or when you're like maybe about to lose or something, a little bit of extra energy, a little bit of extra pop, perhaps. And maybe we're seeing that here from complexity. Kind of getting into the game a little bit and tell their blood's flowing, and they're just 4-1 advantage with still 2 minutes to go. So just some great Rocket League here from complexity.
It's not the only thing that's flowing, because the goals are flowing thick and fast right now, with the 5th goal coming in, and after not scoring a single goal in game number 2, it's just completely going.
That's a great pass from Greasy Meister. Not very intuitive there, just hitting it to the sidewall, popping it up to the middle, and just really nice play once again from complexity. It's time to start taking notes, because they're playing some really good Rocket League right now. Oh, an answer maybe. Oh my God, what a save. Okay, that save. Oh, okay, that was pretty awesome. They didn't need to do it. They could have probably let that in, and they'd still probably do well in this game, but ridiculous. Flakes able to keep it barely from going into the net, and then Magnus with a brilliant backflip clear. Maybe worthy of a clip. I don't know. That's eligible for save of the day, as complexity turning it around, 6-1 advantage.
That's off the save too. Flake's really showing in a lot of these plays his mechanical abilities. Just being able to slow the ball down when he wants to, touch the ball where he wants, react incredibly fast, and at least for me, he's proven that he belongs on the caliber of team alongside Greasy and others.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Flakes. Wonder if that's from like cereals, like if he likes cereal. Flakes.
Well, considering I was saying earlier that everyone names themselves after a food item, obviously.
Yeah.
I think you hit the nail on the head.
All right, there you go. This one's all but over. Complexity is going to win this. They're going to advance to the next round of... Oh, that was a pretty cool, interesting finish. As Greasy continuing that forward. Could this be another goal from Complexity? Keeping up the offense. But yeah, Complexity, they're going to win this. They're going to advance to the next round of the open upper bracket. Best of threes all the way through. Top 16, top 4 from each pool. Advancing to the close qualifiers. So this isn't going to be a terribly long day here. As all these guys, it's all best of threes. Everyone's just playing Rocket League in their different pools.
That's right. His name used to be Pornflakes. Yeah, he was often a sub on a lot of RLCS teams. So
I guess I can imagine why he changed that.
Yeah,
similar to Lawler's history. We're not going to talk about.
What, Lawler cost?
Yeah. Oh, there's a goal. That's got to feel good a little bit, you know, able to get one in the final seconds. Exotic. Almost a flip reset. A little bit of craziness happening in the net on defense.
The shiny prodigy has it correct. That's the correct name. That's yeah, great series in the end, considering it goes to all 3 games. And I guess this means that we have to be excited to see the rest of the DigniTosTesTas run, because if they can challenge at least Complexity, perhaps they can make that top 4 in their group and make it to the close qualifier.
Yeah, they'll be in the lower bracket of their pool, so we'll see if they can make it back. And they played Complexity very close. They even went up in game 3. Someone was nervous in the chat. At least one person was nervous for Complexity being down 0-1 in game 3. But Complexity, Flakes, led by Flakes probably there in game 3 with 3 goals. Great passing plays from Greasy Meister. Crazy saves from Magnus. And Complexity advanced to the next round. We're going to go to a different scene here. And I'm going to take a look at the bracket to see who Complexity will play next. We're sticking with Complexity for now. If anyone wants to see another team and you really want to see them, let me know in the Twitch chat. The Discord link is down below if you want to come hang out in the Discord.